Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. Today's YouTube video is more of that wonderful Tier 6 destroyer, Tier 6 submarine, no, Tier 6 light cruiser HMAS Perth. Yes, as somebody put it, it's a well-known fact that all of the fauna in Australia is lethal to human life. None more so than Australian sailors. And in this battle, playing the Perth, I'm going to prove that statement to be fairly correct. As the battle gets underway, it's the hotspot map in Domination Match Mode, and this is a very Tier 8 battle. It's also got a lot of Tier 6s, as you can see. There are a couple of Dunkirks up there, as well as some other vessels. But let's not forget that this is a Tier 8 matchup with aircraft carriers, yay. And of course, the Perth not known for having the best anti-aircraft. As the battle starts getting underway here, the enemy team is in the process of capping C, but we do have several of our friendly ships headed towards the C cap point, so they're going to try and defend. Myself and the teammates who spawned on this side of the map are going to go ahead and sit over here at the A cap point. And I'm trying to cap this point, and I do manage to do it, keeping pretty much all of the enemy ships away from me. Enemy Leander and Dunkirk up there pushing up as well. I've popped my hydroacoustic because I was afraid that there might be torpedoes coming out there with the potential of the smokescreen popping up. And I'm glad I did pop that because, of course, there are torpedoes incoming. So I'm going to go ahead, push up my throttle, and motor forward. My smokescreen is not going to last much longer anyway, and I don't want to be caught sitting when it ends and dissipates. Now my team has managed to secure a first blood on a Cleveland, thanks in part to the aircraft carrier, and bear in mind with that aircraft carrier because he and I are going to be exchanging kills in this entire game. The enemy team still has not yet managed to capture a base, but that's going to change very quickly. We managed to take out yet another ship, but they managed to kill one of ours in return. In the meantime, I'm firing a high explosive at this Dunkirk because nothing says fine French cooking like a flame broil. Pushing back up here into the A cap point, I'm going to push forward and I'm going to try and borrow this friendly destroyer's smokescreen. And I want to borrow his smokescreen because he's an American destroyer and I know that smokescreen will last a while. But I also want to borrow his smokescreen because there are a lot of angry-looking battleships up here, and I definitely don't want to be out in the open. Of course, I've got way too much speed going through this smokescreen as I push through, and I'm not able to stay in there. Barely skim the side of a friendly destroyer as I put torpedoes out from that smokescreen. I get turned around thinking about putting more torpedoes out, but again, friendly destroyer decide I'm going to do it anyway. He hopefully will stop or turn, and yes, he does. Sorry to that destroyer, that was kind of a noobish mistake on my part. Still though, no harm, no foul, which works out well for me, and I was pretty confident that he was fully aware that I was going to fire torpedoes anyway. Again, sticking back up behind this island, using it as additional armor while I try to set a fire on this Bayern. The enemy team has managed to kill yet another ship, so they are equal with us as far as ships go, but they still haven't managed to capture a base. This, of course, is giving my team an opportunity to build up a points lead. And this points lead is going to come in to play heavily in a very short period of time as the enemy team manages to take out yet another one of our ships. I continue to put rounds out at this Bayern, and again, trying to set him on fire. I do have inertia fuses on this ship, but I also have demolitions expert, so it doesn't really impact my chance for fires all that much. I do manage to set a fire on him, and because he's already used his damage control ability, that fire is going to burn. And I do secure the kill on that Bayern, so there is our team's third kill of the game, as well as my first kill. But the enemy team over at the sea cap point has finally annihilated our forces, putting them up by 2 ships, and they are now finally in the process of capping. But of course, because we managed to gain that points lead, having the A cap point for so long, we didn't completely fall behind. Firing off shots at this Dunkirk, and with any luck, I will be able to set him on fire in multiple places. I've already set one fire on him, and it would be nice to set another. Friendly destroyer repays the favor and fires off torpedoes in front of me, but that's fine. I'm moving very slow anyway, so I could have easily stopped. Decide to switch focus to this Leander up here, managed to set him on fire, and as he starts turning broadside, I switch over to the armor piercing. Hopefully, I'll be able to nail him with the Citadel here. Come on, get reloaded. Get up there. Shots out. Smokescreen is no longer there, so I'm going to be exposed. Switch back to my high explosive and switch over to one of the Dunkirks, of which there are 2 still left over here on this side of the map. Again, going to try and use these islands as cover as much as possible, especially because I know there's a Leander back over there, and I don't really want to engage him and 2 Dunkirks. One of the Dunkirks does manage to hit me, barely clipping me. I managed to take out another Dunkirk with fire and main guns. So there is my second kill in the game. Now that Leander is back there. I was trying to target him just a little bit, but I was also targeting the Dunkirk to see where he was moving, and he is in fact doing what Dunkirks do best, and that's backing up. But he's got his guns pointed the other direction, so I feel absolutely secure, just effectively backing up here and getting off the rocks so that I can maneuver about. Set that Dunkirk on fire yet again, and it looks like, yes, that fire is still burning, and I have multiple fires now burning on him, so he is going to burn nicely. Our friendly destroyer up there is in a very bad situation. He's very low health, and he is going to run into the enemy destroyer, as well as a plethora of ships that are going to be very angry with him. He pops his smoke screen in an effort to hide and to continue to contest the B cap point. Unfortunately, I'm not going to try and push up there. I don't have a smoke screen to go up there, and there are a lot of angry ships up there, including a full-strength battleship. I fire off a set of torpedoes around the headland of this island, where I think that Leander might continue sailing in a straight line, and if he does, he's within my torpedo range, and those would be a wonderful hit on him, and it would be a wonderful addition to my kill count. From the looks of it, the Dunkirk was able to put out my fire, so I'm no longer gaining additional points. Enemy North Carolina up there is just barely in my gun range, just a little bit outside of my gun range, but I'm opening up anyway in hopes that he'll sail into them. Our friendly destroyer in the B cap point meets his sticky end because, of course, what did he do? He sat in a smoke screen with an enemy destroyer, possibly in the vicinity. He did get torpedoes out at that North Carolina. Unfortunately, the North Carolina, not a dumb player, slowed way down, changed his speed and course. Those torpedoes miss him completely. But I do manage to set the North Carolina on fire, so that makes me somewhat happy. However, the North Carolina looks like he's put the fire out almost immediately. No longer in a good position to shoot at him. Even though I have my smoke screen going, I'm going to go ahead and try to get around this island. Mostly because I know there are ships back over there that need to die. The enemy team now holds 2 of the cap points, and they are currently up on ships. This battle at this point started to look kind of shaky, like it wasn't necessarily going to result in a victory. The North Carolina, who I'm actually targeting here, is pushing up. He's almost in my torpedo range, and I'm kind of hoping that these torpedoes will hit him. Now, the enemy ships have other things to shoot at right now, so I'm going to stick back behind my allies and let them take the brunt. The Perth is an excellent ship as long as it's not being shot at. Speaking of taking shots, my torpedoes look fairly good on that North Carolina, and I'm going to try and set them on fire before they get there. With any luck, I can cause fire and flooding and secure another kill. Can I hit him? It looks like they're good. Yes, I do manage to hit him with 3, cause a lot of flooding, cause a lot of damage, but the CV takes my kill. Again, pay attention to this aircraft carrier now that we're later in the game, and there are fewer ships. That CV and I are going to exchange our kills quite frequently. So far, the CV owes me 2, but that's okay because I'm going to take 2 of his. Pushing back up here, friendly ship. This battleship up here is making a fatal mistake. He's sailing broadside on to a smokescreen. Not just any smokescreen, that smokescreen has a Leander in it. That smokescreen also has the enemy destroyer in it. And that destroyer, well, that is the premium version of the Tier 6 Fubuki. So it has a lot of torpedoes. Enemy battleship up there, he's on fire, he's burning in multiple locations. I fire a salvo out just speculatively, but I do manage to secure that kill, and I do believe those fires were set by the carrier. So, there, I've managed to effectively secure a kill. The carrier owed me, so it's all fine. Incoming torpedoes managed to swerve and avoid them nicely. The destroyer up there launched a fairly wide spread, and he has popped up. But now I'm in a bad situation. I can't really go forward because I've got 2 cruisers up there, a Leander and a Nuremberg. But I also have the destroyer up there as well. I can't really show broadside to these ships, but I need to make an escape. I've got a few more seconds till my smokescreen's up, and all I really want to do at this point is survive long enough to pop that smokescreen, as the enemy aircraft carrier sends his planes to deal with our friendly battleship. Now I do manage to pop the smokescreen and break line of sight until I open fire, and then the planes spot me, but I slow way down, and I'm able to do that. Switch over to armor piercing the Leander's broadside on, come on, as I'm screaming in the live stream, Citadel him, and I do manage to Citadel him. He's almost dead. He's going to take more shots in there from secondaries from a friendly ship, and I managed to secure that kill. So I'm now on 4 kills, and I'm looking for a Kraken Unleashed. There are not many ships left on the enemy team. Somehow, someway, we've managed to balance this out. Friendly North Carolina up there, unfortunately, continued sailing in a nice straight line, and that allowed the enemy Leander to secure It Is But a Flesh Wound award. And now our teams are no longer equal. Again, with the enemy team having both cap points, this puts them up on points, or very close to it, and this is now an extremely close game. With only 5 minutes left on the clock, the only way we're really going to win this is to either kill all of the enemy ships or begin capping the bases. And since I'm the only one currently in a position to challenge the B cap point, it's going to have to be me. Now there are 2 enemy cruisers left in this game. There is a Nuremberg and there is a New Orleans. And the New Orleans is the one ship that I'm absolutely most afraid of finding, because he's a Tier 8 and I'm a Tier 6. He has 8-inch 203mm guns, and I have 152mm or 6-inch guns. I no longer have a smokescreen available, or it's on cooldown at the very least, and I've only got 1 left. I don't have a heal or repair ability, so I can't recover any of my health, and getting spotted by him would be a disaster. The other thing that I'm constantly on the lookout for is the fact that I'm detected. So, whatever's detecting me can see me without me seeing him. I know it's the destroyer. I don't need to be torpedoed. If I take a torpedo anywhere on my ship, I'm a dead man. And that would probably result in a crushing defeat for my team. We managed to take out the enemy Nuremberg. So now it's an equal matchup. My team has 2 cruisers, 1 tier 6 and 1 tier 8. And the enemy team has 1 tier 6 destroyer and 1 tier 8 cruiser. The New Orleans pops up on the minimap. He's all the way up north near where our spawn is, so I'm not too concerned about him at the moment, as there's a friendly Kutuzov between him and me that he'll probably be focused on. Instead, I'm going to focus on destroying this destroyer, because prioritizing anything with torpedoes is a massive priority for me. And I'm putting shots out. I'm managing to whittle him down slowly, but he's maneuvering hard to try and avoid my incoming shots. Come on. Yes, I almost hit him. He's nearly dead. I want to secure the kill because that would be a Kraken Unleashed. Wait for all of my shots to reload. Let's do this. Fire off shots as they go out there. Come on, hit him. The destroyer drops off detectability, and no, those shots miss. And they looked really good too, which is really disappointing. I managed to secure the B cap point, and that's my second full base capture in this game. Destroyer pops up once again, thanks to the enemy, thanks to the friendly aircraft carrier spotting him for me. But now I'm in range of this New Orleans, and I've decided that I'm going to provide additional assistance and help our Kutuzov deal with this enemy cruiser. Kutuzov pops a smoke screen, but the New Orleans has his radar popped and active because he definitely sees him in that smoke screen and is shooting at him. Kutuzov's got torpedoes out. I managed to fire shots out, secure my high caliber to go with my Confederate. The New Orleans is on fire in multiple places. The CV is going to torpedo him. Doesn't matter. My shots get in there and manage to secure the kill for a Kraken Unleashed. I feel bad for the Kutuzov who did all that work and got robbed his kill. But that's alright, as the enemy destroyer pops up once again. The friendly carrier takes his fighters away from him, so he drops off detectability. But the Kutuzov's got shots out there, and those shots at that kind of range managed to secure him that kill. So in a sense, the Kutuzov and myself managed to exchange kills, and it worked out for the best. At this point, the enemy team down to just their aircraft carrier, who was hiding somewhere on the map. My team is finally up on points, and there's not a lot of time left. In fact, I'm not even going to make it to the C cap point before my team manages to win on points as the clock runs out. A victory for my team. I did 150,000 damage in that game. I earned a Confederate, a high caliber, and a Kraken Unleashed in a Perth in a tier 8 matchup. Almost 670,000 credits earned, and almost 2,000 free XP earned if you were a person who's interested in getting one of those free XP ships. Top of the team for XP earned, well over 2,000 base XP, and there you can see the top 3 ships, of course, are the last 3 survivors. The aircraft carrier did an excellent job in this battle. Considering tier 6 carrier in a tier 8 matchup, he did a pretty damn good job. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following my Facebook page. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, as well as gain early access to replays like this one, you can do so by supporting me on Patreon. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships, among other games, live, you can do so by liking and following my Twitch channel. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.